Hi, y'all. It is Small Business Saturday. Support small business, y'all. Today's talk is going to focus solely on LLCs, basics, Q&As, and questions that you guys may have. Now, a lot of people are interested in forming an LLC. You already know that, like, from the jump. You don't even need to, meet with me. You're just like, yeah, I really want to form my LLC. Now, a lot of people, when they do form their LLC, they're not really sure what they want to go into business to do. They have multiple different business ideas, competing around in their head. Now, I did a series last time and I focused a lot of my talk on getting people to even start. Take that idea that you came up with during COVID-19, being quarantined in the house, and really, really let it use you. Like, let that purpose and let that reason why, the things that you used to doubt yourself about, just let that stuff fall away and get to a point where you feel comfortable starting your LLC. But maybe you're there. Maybe you've already gotten to that point. You're like, Neena, I'm ready. I'm ready to start my LLC, but I don't know, what exactly I want to be formed as. I don't know what I want to be created as. I don't know how I want to organize myself. A lot of us don't. When I started the two LLCs that I have right now, and then I also have a corporation, which is a nonprofit, those three businesses, like, I started out one of them with an actual plan, because my nonprofit, funny enough, when I started my nonprofit, that was based off a game plan that I wrote down when I was 8 years old. Yes, y'all, 8 years old. I was writing down game plans and program development strategies when I was 8. I think most people were playing with Legos. I think that's what they were focused on. So when I created my nonprofit, I had a huge developed plan. But when I created my two LLCs that I have, which is my firm and then the brand behind my book and all the other stuff, I didn't have a huge developed plan. I just knew that I wanted to be protected. And you might know that you want to be protected. There's multiple different ways to protect yourself. I always believe in less is more. So don't just create tons of LLCs. One, you pay for each LLC you create. But two, you might not even need that many LLCs, because your business purpose can actually kind of be consolidated into other, and it allows you to provide more services later. So it's not, that I want you to have a savings bank account for all of these different great business ideas. I believe in keeping things separate, like for my firm and my book brand business. Those things I keep separately, and I actually have a separate bank account and things like that for my book brand versus my firm. And those things are going to be separate. There's an IOTA account for my firm, which is a trust account. You learn more about it if you become a client. But it's basically an account where anybody who pays me anything, before it even comes to me, it goes into this special account, and it doesn't come to me until I've actually done the work, i.e., worked with you and made sure that everything was okay on your side before I actually move the money over to my bank account, which is the operating account. And then there are other accounts that you can create, like a savings account, a bill spend account, and things like that. You can also create a spend account. You can create a lot of different accounts, to better organize yourself. I think a mentor of mine or a colleague of mine actually focused herself on creating, I believe it was 6. And it's based off a book that she read, and it's about breaking down your accounts and the different strategies. And if you think about it, it's actually pretty smart, because if you have a bill account where all of the bills come out of, if you have a spend account where all of the expenditures come out, and then if you have a savings account, you have a high yield savings account, if you break that down into things, when you're trying to take it to your accountant later, you have less to separate and more to just handle. Me personally, I don't use my own software to try to do my own taxes. I use a CPA. You do not have to use a CPA when you're starting your business, but I just prefer when I know that I have a talent somewhere. So I have a huge talent and being able to provide legal services. That's what I bread and butter. That's what I do. I'm going to stick with that. And if I don't know something, I'll have a problem making sure that the person who is an expert in that is the one who covers and takes care of the covering of myself. However, it's very important for you to take the time to learn how to do these yourself, just so you can know how to check someone if they're doing wrong or they're not doing it correctly. So yes, I do have a CPA, but I have a person who actually kind of trains me on how to be good if I wanted to just do it for myself. So always have someone who can help you, or always have some guiding principles for yourself on how to do your own taxes and things like that. Remember, I'm not a tax attorney, so I can't really help you get the tax stuff out there. But I want you to imagine, like, when you're starting your LLC business, I want you to think about it like this. It breaks down into structures. The first structure is, it could just be a huge general catch-all for everything, okay? Now, if you do that and you create like a bunch of different ideas and brands, you're only going to have one FEIN number, okay? So when you go to the bank account, or you go to the bank and you're like, I want to create a bank account, you're only going to have that one EIN number, and they're going to ask you for that. You're only going to have the one. So any money that you get comes from that pot, right? The issue comes when you're trying to separate that pot, or you're trying to, determine how much income you made here, how much income you made here, and how much income you made here. Now, luckily, on Speer, if you use Speer, the app, it actually allows you to kind of break down which business is it like which businesses your services are being used for. So if you use stuff like Speer, you can actually break that down within your app itself, and it allows for you to basically still take money out of XYZ, but at least you know the purpose. Like, at least you know the reason behind XYZ that's happening. The only thing I don't like about Speer is that it doesn't really give you a P&L projection like I like. So it doesn't show you your profits and losses. It has a balance section, and it has a report section for your sales. And then it shows you like the processing fees and things like that. But it does not like break down like, here are your sales, here are the items that you did expenses on, boom, like a bank account does. So I always recommend that you have a bank account for everything. So Speer does add a second complication because it has processing fees and all the other stuff that you have to factor in when you're trying to create, your business and take it off the ground. Bank accounts are just a little bit more well balanced, and it's easy. I just learned myself just how to do it a little bit quicker, but it's easy. You can take your bank records every quarter, and you can download them, and you can put them in an Excel spreadsheet because they automatically do that, and you can just itemize them, and you can like break them up. So like, it's possible for you to see where your debit and where your credit spends are, and then it's possible for you to kind of go in and see what your expenses were, and then also to see what your income was and how you're spending that income each month, because most banks give you that information. So I just want you to think about that as you're forming your business. Yes, you can form it all as one big entity, but when it comes to money, all your money will be mixed in one pot. And so as long as you're doing the same thing, you have the same issues, you got the same expenses for everything, cool. If you believe that everything should be coming out of one pot, just create one. But you might want to create two. Like, I needed to create two. I wanted my firm separately from my Neena the L.A.S.T brand. But Neena the L.A.S.T brand is a brand that I am working on in being more inclusive of all things. So if you want a brand or something like that, you want to include it, you want to be able to sell, merchandise later, you want to be able to provide this service and that service, and you want it to all fall under this brand, you can do that. It's possible. It's not something that you have to restrict yourself on. You always have to, determine what you're going to do. If you're going to provide any goods in your state, just remember, like, sales tax does come into play. It's not something you're going to have to, like, ask people and do things and stuff like for, you're really gonna have to like make a big effort to like get people on the on the same page, because it doesn't matter if you make a sale or not. You still got to report the sales tax, and you have to report that you had zero. And it's like a monthly reporting. And a lot of us, you start a business, might forget that. If you provide a good, not a service, but a good in which you sell in the commerce of that state or things like that, you owe sales tax. And then you need to figure out the state and local sales tax that you owe. Then you have to figure out the major, like the state tax you owe. So don't just sell goods and not know the rules. So a lot of people, they like open up a business. They're like, I'm just ready to start my business. But if you're ready to start your business, like a lot of what starting your business means is actually being prepared when you have it, when you start your business. And a lot of people don't take that time essentially to prepare for having their LLC business. A lot of them, really, they have a dream, they have a purpose and things like that. But don't think about, how it plays out, and that's something that I really like to, work hard on trying to push people to get there, because I don't believe that you have a business idea that's meant to be, something that's going to be a setup for failure. I do the same thing with even my criminal law clients. I don't believe in setting up anybody for failure, so I don't, make any requests or try to get anything pled based off of what my client has told me and things like that, because I want to set them up for success. And I like to set people up, just for success and knowledge. Like, you need to be a successful business owner. And as a successful business owner, I want you to start really thinking, how does this play out? So let's say I create everything under one umbrella, okay? Totally doable. As it grows, am I going to stay in that one umbrella? I'm going to be comfortable with everything being done as business in that area. Am I going to be comfortable with all of the money being in that pot under that name and that EIN and that tax structure and all of that? Am I going to be comfortable? If the answer is yes, then you just create stuff under that umbrella. However, let's try, if possible, to start figuring out how to separate things from the umbrella that aren't part of the same theme. I personally like things that are the same theme. So if you would like to start a hybrid LLC that includes so many other things, that's awesome. You can definitely do that. But if you would like to create an LLC or two that kind of encompasses two different interests that you have, I usually ask people to boil it down to two. Usually you have two interests. One is your passion. One is your skill or your trade that you are using to make tons of money. And then break that down. And that's usually what I think is the most important when you're making an LLC, because my passion was my brand, my Neena the L.A.S.T brand. And then my skill, or what I was good at, is my Neena our Speer law firm LLC. So those two things is what I decided I wanted to create based on my two passion skill. So what's your passion? What's your skill? And if you do have one, and you have somebody in your life that you want to share that with, do that. Because a lot of times we haven't actually shared it with somebody we really care about. Start sharing those ideas and bouncing it off right now. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing those ideas, you can just comment below right here. And there will be a support system here for you to at least tell somebody about your idea. And for the first time, be able to just say it out loud. Sometimes you just need to say it out loud, to feel confident again. And I think that as I talk to you guys about LLCs and the basics and how to, and not making it so complicated, and making it more organized, and making sure you don't mix your money, making sure that you feel comfortable sharing your dreams. That was the big talk last time, and I'm going to reiterate some of those components and themes right now. You are a business owner. And not only are you a business owner, you are the business owner. You're going to take over the world. You're going to take over the whole environment. Everything about your life is going to change. And all you have to do right now is completely and totally focus on what you are doing right now. Right now. To make a difference. Like, a lot of us do not focus on what we're doing right now to make a difference. But the fact that you're taking some time and you're believing in your LLC, you're believing in your brand, you've decided to take that next step of, I really want to do this. I really want to take my business and make it official. I want the official hat for my business. Like, that is an accomplishment in and of itself. And I don't think that you actually taking the time to really congratulate yourself on what you are doing. And that's a crazy thing, because we need to stop and smell the roses when we do something that is scary. It's scary. It takes courage to be able to do some of these things and not be scared off. Okay, I have started, I don't know how many applications, like scholarship applications. You know, you guys have done this before. You start that application and you're like, yeah, this is going to be great. I'm going to apply. I'm going to get all this money, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to the application and it's like asking for too much and you just don't do it. A lot of people get there. They don't even get past the application point. You know, they just, think it's a good idea and it's a nice idea and I really like the idea, but they don't do anything with it. And that's what I'm here to ask you guys, more about is, what do you want to do with your idea? What is it that you're thinking about? What is it you've been afraid to tell people? Because you're afraid that, they won't listen. They don't like listening, or, they're going to shoot your dream in the foot. Like, who are you? What do you dream about? What is the thing that keeps you up at night? What makes you really, really excited to start doing business? What is it that you enjoy? What's your passion? And like, when you figure that out, when you take that time to sit there and really say what it is you're passionate about and what it is that brings you inner joy, not only will you feel safer, but you will also feel empowered, because sharing what you really enjoy, your passions, and no longer keeping it to yourself and making it a real thing by just saying it, writing it down, making it plain, that is big stuff, y'all. And even if you don't take any further steps than that, you took a chance to even put it out there in the world. Even putting it out there in the world is an accomplishment. And I think a lot of people discount that accomplishment or forget about it. Honestly, it is the most difficult thing that I think I've seen in life, is that people do not have the information they need to be able to go to their next level. A lot of people don't know, you can form an LLC. They just think it's easier to form a sole proprietorship. If you read any of the posts that, I did on my actual personal page, like, sole proprietorships are easy, okay? They're easy. And matter of fact, we all started there, okay? We all started a sole proprietorship. And sole proprietors have less formalities, less paperwork, less things for you to sign. But you know what a sole proprietorship doesn't have? They don't have more, liability protection. They don't protect your personal assets. They don't protect your house, your car, your 401k, your savings plan, your college tuition plan for your kids. They don't protect any of those things. And that's the one thing that I, try to get people to understand, is that it's okay, to start as a sole proprietorship. We all started there. In fact, I think that starting as a sole proprietorship is an honor, because you actually said, hey, I'm scared as heck, but I'm going to try it anyways. And you put your shingle out there. That's what, us lawyers who start our own firms, the first year out of practice or whenever we start, that's what we call it. We're hanging our shingle. You just decided to hang your shingle. And now it's time to make that shingle a home. It can be a roof now. It doesn't have to stay a shingle. It doesn't have to just be mobile. It doesn't have to be, sheetrock. You can make it part of a home. You can make it a place that's yours. And that's the one thing that I do love about the fact that I have now, LLCs, is that it's mine. And not only is it mine, I can pay myself. I can not only pay myself, I can, donate to nonprofits and things like that, and I get tax benefits and things like that. Like, there are so many things that you can do with your LLC, and they're just fun, So let's start with 1, 2, and 3 lessons that I wanted you to take away from today. The first lesson is that it gets complicated. So it's number 1, it gets complicated. You might not know how you want to form your LLC. You might have multiple ideas. You might have multiple businesses. And you're like, Neena, I think I need you to form like 6 LLCs. First of all, I probably will see that there's more like 2. But I mean, people who really want to form LLCs or things like that, that's fine. But people, you don't have to. Like, I don't need you to, focus your energies on forming more or scaring you into forming a bunch of different separate businesses. The goal is to make sure you feel, as a business owner, protected and educated on this process. And that means, making sure you probably don't have to form 6. Okay, so let me just stop you right there. You probably don't have to form 6. You can probably consolidate it into 2 to 3. You can probably even consolidate it into 2 instead of 3. Like, I really personally believe that is probably all you need. Now, trademarking is a whole other thing, and we'll probably get into that next Trademark Thursday. But I really do believe that that's what you're supposed to focus on, is getting yourself started, but smart. Like, I don't believe in stressing you out, okay? I don't believe in stressing you out. I don't believe in giving you any information that's going to stress you out. I believe in giving you information that will help you be a better business owner and a better person overall. As you grow, as you make these changes to your business, you are learning strategies and tools to make you a better business owner. So the second thing I want you to take away from what I've told you today is that a lot of what you will see online from me will be me teaching you anything and everything that I possibly can, and then also encouraging you, empowering you, and things like that. Yes, I could possibly, have other time and devote my time elsewhere and spend it, answering phone calls and things like that. But I'm choosing that the little time I do have, the extra time, I want to give that back in a way in which will help people who are interested in starting businesses just like I did. Because let me tell y'all, I started with $80 my first year. I mean, $80. Somebody paid me $80 for a consultation when I first got started. And that was it. I didn't get paid anything else. I had done work, so I knew, I was going to get paid in the future, but I didn't know when. I didn't know what the timestamp was looking like. I had no clue. So I went through that entire year just training and going through multiple different sessions with people and giving my time back and things like that, because I didn't have any paying clients. So what can I do but learn? So I took that time and I utilized it to learn for you guys, so I don't have to be, one of those people who just like, oh yeah, I made this much money. Look, $80. And that is why I think it's just so important for me to give information to you that is helpful for your business, in the sense that I didn't have anybody help me with my specific business. Okay, when I first started out, it was just me, and it was just me. When I made $80, and I met all these people who also they believed in me. But they were like, girl, you only making $80. Might be time to quit. Like, they believed in me to a fault. And that was fine, but it wasn't what I was thinking was my destiny, my dream, my purpose. And so I just kept going, even though I didn't have any confirmation that anything was going to be blowing up, working out. Within a year, okay, by the end of the next year, I was at 5 figures. And I started off with $80, guys. And that can be you. That is a business that you can create. It doesn't have to be, through anything or through anybody. You can create it today if you want to. When I see people have their businesses created and knowing that I help them, do that, it brings me so much profound joy. So the second takeaway is that you are becoming a better business owner. But not only that, a better person. You're learning how not to catch an attitude with people, when they ask you for, your services and your prices. You're learning how to be direct. You're learning how to answer questions with your heart full of love and things like that. You're learning how to be genuine behind closed doors and in front of, open doors, when you're out on display and when you're in private, just being a truly authentic, genuine person. And that is really, really hard in this day and age for people to believe that lawyers, that's what they do. They really are true, authentic, genuine people. And there are a lot of good ones out there, y'all. A lot of great lawyers out there. So I never want you guys to think, and I always want to try to help dispel that belief that everybody's in it to take from you. A lot of people are in it because they want to see you win. They want to see you get to your next level. And the last thing that I want you to take away is that we not a fan of this, and I need you to just get this through your head. We don't mix money. We do not mix money. And by mix money, and this is really important for you LLC business owners out there, just because you have an LLC or a corporation or a nonprofit or anything else where you are a business owner, and let me tell you, you're not just protected automatically because you got a business card for your business. If you're spending all of your business money on things for your house, things for your car, you gotta be very, very, very responsible, deliberate, and insistent on what you are actually doing with that money. Because if you basically spend the business account on everything that you would spend for your house, on your rent, your check, you're gonna run into some issues. Okay, you're going to run into some issues later on. Okay, some things are business expenses, i.e. like health insurance and things like that. That's easy to keep. But, putting the rent and all the other stuff, you really need to talk to your accountant and actually see which things are business expenses. Again, I'm not a tax attorney, so, always consult an accountant. I do, or, a CPA, anybody who can really help you make sure that you itemize that out. But if you don't, you're just opening yourself up for, that lawsuit or, that whole question of, piercing the corporate veil is the legal word for it. But all it really means is that you ain't really using this business as a business. You're using this business as your personal bank account. And that's not cool. It's okay, to mix some things, as in, you can donate to something that, you own or things like that. You can do that. If you own a nonprofit, those things are possible. But, just watch how you do things. Watch your donation structure. Watch your, how you spend your money structure. Don't start using your card every time you got rent due, okay? Like, be very, very deliberate and strategic about how you spend your money. So those are the 3 big takeaways for LLC business owners and basics. If you're trying to form one, you get confused, don't just form like 20 LLCs. There's a plan and a strategy to make that better. It just involves you kind of boiling it down to 2, your passion project and your skill or trade that makes you money. That's usually how I do it. The second one is that you have to become this better business owner that you're trying to be. If you want for all of these blessings to come forth, you have to continue to be this person, and that means to do some serious self-work, and that also means to do some serious education of yourself and things like that. If you see somebody teaching something or saying something online for free that will help you in your business, attend those things. Also, if you get customers and the customer isn't like the best customer the first time you talk to them, it's okay for you to still give them grace, still show them wonderfulness of you, because you're only getting in training for when you meet customers later on, because you want to show your business as a business that really cares about people. This is not about you. And I just need to say that. This number 2, this business is not about you. Yes, it's about you and your dreams. But once you create it, like you created it for a purpose. Whatever purpose you created it for, that's its purpose. Okay? That's the real meat behind the potatoes. So don't get all full of yourself just because we created a business. It's good to create businesses. It's awesome. But I always like to keep people on like that one level. And I was like, don't let it go to your head. Don't let it start having you treat people with disrespect. Don't let it start having you become like someone who likes to talk about people, customers. But like, you don't have to. You can choose every day whether or not you want to participate in petty drama. You don't have to be that type of participant. You can choose to still have grace even when somebody doesn't do something you would like them to do with your business. And then number 3, the final one, we do not mix money. Okay, do not start paying your rent. All the different things that you have on deck. Basically, the 401. Like, make sure that before you use your business account on it, you talk to your accountant. That's really the big thing. Before you use it as a business expense, talk to your accountant about what you can actually swipe that card on and what you probably shouldn't swipe that card on, because then your business may not be protected. That is important. Like, most people, they get this business card. It's got all these benefits. But that's one thing we miss out on. A bonus is that when you do form your business accounts, make sure you guys keep $500 being spent at all times. I know that sounds crazy, but a lot of these banks, get the facts up front. Like, they charge if you don't have $500 coming out of that business account every month, they will charge you fees on top of fees on top of fees. So you find out all the fees up front. When you first start your business, it's okay to just start a checking. If you need to start a checking and a savings and you don't want to pay for the savings, you can always create an online savings bank account through Marcus. This is not something, like legal advice I'm telling you to do, but it's called Marcus. It's by Goldman Sachs. You can put as little as $1 in there, and it's a high yield savings account. So that's just a bonus tip, for you guys to start becoming more financially conscious. You need to start putting your money into something that will yield you money. Okay, just by putting your money in a high yield savings account with a high interest rate, you will actually get money by leaving money in that bank. Just leaving it there. You don't even got to touch it. Just leave money in there. Just decide every month, okay, I'm going to put $5 in this bank account. That sounds crazy, right? But like, if you start early enough, you can start Marcus for your kids. You can start Marcus for your family members. You can start right now. Anytime you got a family member who always needs something, you can start a Marcus account, okay? And $5, you put it in there and you be like, hey, this is your Marcus account, okay? When there's no money in there, you spent it all. Those are things that most people just don't know. I learned a lot more recently because I've been trying to take a great interest in making sure that I'm invested in my financial future. And I want you guys to be invested in your financial future. And this is free game. Like, if you join most investing groups and things like that, they will tell you this. Some people won't. They'll, charge you for it. But I personally just want you to be the best business owner that you can be. And I want you to feel protected. And that starts with starting your checking account and things like that, and not mixing that money. So that's my bonus tip for today. This has been LLC Basics, things that you might need to know, things that you might have questions on. And as always, it is Small Business Saturday. And not only did we have a great talk, I know for a fact, before I even get off of this call, even though I think I had like one listener, I'm going to have tons of questions. And I want to answer all of them. So, comment below. I really want to hear from you. I want to hear what you learned. I want to hear questions you have. I want to hear everything that you got to say about LLC formation and the things that you were kind of concerned about just starting. And don't forget, you did this. You put this idea out of your head on the paper and you told somebody. That is an accomplishment. You are an accomplishment. You are accomplished. And I don't want you to think that just starting the business makes you accomplished. You are accomplished right now. Just by thinking that the idea is worthy of telling somebody, because you are worthy of being in the know about how to start your business. So thank you for tuning in. And if you didn't tune in live, you can always comment below. I'm here. We're here. This is Neena R. Speer Law Firm. This is an informational use only audio transaction. The attorney-client privilege is not created by listening to or following the resources provided in this audio recording, please know that it is a audio recording shared through all Neena R. Speer law firm and Neena R. Speer social media accounts across the internet, but it is informational use only. It's just supposed to share gems and things that I have learned as I have been in practice for 2 going on 3 years and just growing and loving business. So if you grow and you love business too, I hope you learned something today. I hope you really feel empowered and inspired to start your business. And if you don't feel empowered and inspired to start your business, comment below and let's work it out. Let's talk about, things that you could do right now to start planning for a business in the future, okay? We can talk about anything you want. I just want to be here to encourage you, empower you, and tell you that your business, it matters. It does. It's important. So, have a good day and happy Small Business Saturday. Neena signing out.